Right, car back. Now we can get out of the way. Front brakes rubbing, don't know why. It wasn't on the last ride. I was, of course, off-road on the last ride. And I did give it a wash. Funny, isn't it, how things that weren't there before just miraculously appear. Anyway, it's early morning. Well, 2 minutes past 6. Out again. First early morning ride for a long time. And back on the Giant. Yeah, so pretty much immediately we turned up in Mallorca for 2 weeks. I got a text from Giant saying the bike's ready. Come and get it. Anyway, they had no problem holding on to it for 2 weeks. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know the story, oh dear. Okay, so back in 2017 I bought a Giant Tough Road drop bar version, which was available in Europe at that point. I think it might have been available in the US and Canada for a bit longer, but they stopped supplying it to Europe a couple of years later, and the Tough Road very much became a flat bar sort of touring bike, if you like, adventure bike. Long wheelbase, rack mounts, stable, you know, strap all your bags onto it and off you go. Fully rigid. I don't think the Tough Road has ever come with a suspension stem. Yeah, so about well, just as lockdown happened, really, the frame cracked just above the brake bridge at the back in the seat stay. Not really a surprise. I think you all know I'm a pretty big guy. I don't necessarily hold back on things. It had some punishment over the years. And of course, everything is made to be as light as possible these days. They don't expect people like me probably to I'll tell you what, we're going to go the other side. Let's go the other side. Yeah, people like myself to be doing anything too exciting on it that might cause issues like that. Morning. Anyway, I did. Yeah, years of riding over the New Forest and other places basically took its toll, and in the end, yeah, it cracked at the brake bridge. So anyway, I got in touch with them. They said no problem. All Giant frames come with a lifetime guarantee for the original owner. Great. I like that. Right, we've got a car coming through. Yes, we have. And he's going around. Yes, he is. There's no point pressing the button just to stop traffic and be annoying. Right, again, no point pressing the button. So great. Okay, but back then, of course, we all know about the shortages that there were. Everybody was buying bikes. Stock just went through the floor. You know, basically it got to a point, I know down at Primera, people were just buying whatever they could get their hands on. They didn't necessarily choose and order bikes anymore. And I bought the Camino, Sonda Camino, as a stopgap, because they said it is going to be months just due to stock shortages, and it was a long time actually, and I was okay with that. I had a bike, so willing to wait, and that's when I got a call saying we've got your new frame, blah 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 blah, by which time of course the Giant Tough Road was only available in flat bar. It was about 40mm longer and the medium large this is, and the black one was, and the Tough Road was just so long with curly bars. There's no way. I'm sorry, I can't even ride this. It's massive, and it was absolutely massive. You think about a large frame mountain bike and then put drop bars on it and 100mm stem. Oh my god. So anyway, they said okay, let's see what we can do, because we can't get this frame anymore, and that's why I ended up with the aluminium Giant Revolt. That was the solution they came up with, and I was very happy about that. They did well for me there. In fact, they did very well for me there. And I think that was a 2021 Zero frame. Yeah, Revolt Alux or Alloy Zero frame in medium large. Oh, and it was just amazing. Quite obvious step up from the Tough Road when it came to the kind of riding I was doing at that point. I'd probably outgrown the Tough Road with the type of stuff we were doing. It was also a big step up from the Sonda. The Sonda Camino is a fantastic frame, don't get me wrong, but it is very much, in aluminium form anyway, an adventure bike. It's made for going out there and exploring and having adventures. Wonderfully comfortable, stable, loads of rack mounts again. Strap your whole life on it if you want to, and just, you know, ride off into the sunset, as it were. But the Giant Revolt was something a little bit different. Fast, nimble, yet somehow stable. I don't know how they did that. That was always a bit of an enigma to me. Well, I'm going to stay on the path here because there's nothing there. There's no oh no, there is a pedestrian up there, so that's fine. I'll just stay on the road for a minute. Most people actually use this as a shared path. I don't know if it actually is or not. Right. I've done some hard work over the years. So that lasted for 4 years. I took it into them, they said, yeah, no problem. Still the original owner. We know all about the swap from a tough road to a revolt, so that's no problem at all. And again, they've done a great job for me. Sort of. Back in 2020, when the original tough road went back to them, they couldn't get a frame for love nor money, and it did take months and months, and I think they basically just grabbed the first opportunity they had, and I ended up with a 2021 frame. In 2025 they've somehow managed to get hold of a 2020 frame. So in production years I've gone backwards one, but in truth it's exactly the same. Feels the same, goes the same, I think. What have we got? No, we're okay. This is a busy road. Yeah, fair mile. We've got Bournemouth Airport behind us, centre of Christchurch in front of us. So, a busy road. Yeah, so I've got a silver 2020 Alux 2 frame, and I've ridden it twice. This will be the third one. I don't know actually, just a handful of times, and yeah, it feels so good. So there you go, that is the story. Of course everything's computerized now. I don't even need my purchase receipt or anything. It's all on the system. I phone up, they go, oh, it's him again. Yeah, because yeah, it's all on the system, so I don't have to worry. I did think about trying to get it all transferred to Poole, but honestly, I don't mind driving down to Southampton. The guys there at the giant shop Southampton have always been brilliant. I cannot fault them. I'm sure behind the scenes they're like slapping their heads going, oh dear, why does he make this so difficult? But in truth, you know, we've bought all of our giants and lives from them, and I'm happy to keep doing that, to be honest. They've given great service, and you know, Southampton's only an hour down the road. Judy's got family there. We've got excuses to go to Southampton, so I'm okay with that. And it gives the car a bit of a run as well, which it doesn't get so much these days, and it is a diesel, so it's good to give it some motorway miles. You can see where I'm going here, you know, glass half full all the time, you know. Anyway, that's the story. So Giant Shop Southampton, thank you very much, brilliant as ever. And yeah, you know, I know we're sorted for bikes at the minute, but I don't know how long that'll last. You know, I'm not looking to buy a new bike anytime soon. I must admit, some of those Merida team machines that we saw on holiday, ooh, yeah, I mean, I know I can't actually ride it. Yeah, I did look up the geometry. Yeah, I'll probably get about 10 miles down the road. Yeah, and then go looking for the nearest chiropractor. But yeah, as far as giant goes, I enjoy giant bikes. I like the way they feel. I don't care about badge or any of that rubbish. I just want to ride a bike that I enjoy, and every giant I've had has given me that experience. Right, Dudmore Lane, first bit of gravel. It's supposed to be 6 degrees this morning. It is a bit chilly, a bit biting. Now what I can say is that today, strap yourselves in, because this is going to be the full 6-part mini-series. I have batteries for days, as the youth would say, and I have bought a spare memory card. I don't really have anywhere to be. There's more about that in a minute. So I may get a call. We'll see. Hopefully not. So I've decided, for the first time in a while, an early morning ride, leaving about 6, gets me out of town pretty quickly. The next bit is the Avon Causeway. Now that could be busy, because that is another main road into the airport for commuters. It's a bit narrow. It's not always a pleasant place to ride, but it's reasonably short, so let's get it done. Now, it did rain yesterday. Not too bad at the minute. Good to be out on the gravel though. So I have done some early morning rides over the last week or so with the guys, Andre and Martin predominantly. A couple of other people joined in. Carl was out on one, and a guy called Dave, who I've never ridden with before, on another one. So it's good to get out. It didn't seem appropriate to film when we're in a group like that. Not continuously anyway. Oh, what have we got here? A biggie. So yeah, today's the first opportunity really in the last week for me to get out. And that sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'm supposed to be retired now. Well, doesn't work like that, does it? Yeah, I'm sort of thinking how to tell the story of the next bit. Let's talk about Mallorca. let's do that. So the upshot, Julia and I lived in a box for 14 days, didn't kill each other. Success. That's it. No, it was good. We enjoyed our time together. 14 days. Well, I'm going to say it might have been a couple of days too long, but actually I don't think it was. I think just on the last couple of days it did rain a few times, just showers, not constantly. The sun still came out. Yeah, the sun still came out. It was nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. And yeah, as you can see, the cars come along here quite fast. It is a 40, which means nearly everybody rides at 45 along here. They don't ride, they drive at 45 along here. But there's a couple of narrow points. Hopefully I'm out just early enough to miss all the 7 o'clock starters. Oh, fast forwards. Grew up with them. Something about them, isn't there? Not in any way a good car, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things, but great fun. And I think tweaking them and fiddling with them was part of the fun, wasn't it? Certainly was for me. Yeah, so yeah, Mallorca was great. Very definitely a holiday, vacation, call it what you want. We did about, I don't know, 6 or 7 rides. Some of them more remarkable than others, of course. We definitely found new roads and routes. Definitely got fed up with the headwind from Sepobla back into Alcudia. I still maintain Alcudia and Playa de Muro are not the best places to cycle from. They're great places to cycle from, but depending on what you want, if you're there for a week, then yeah, then you're squeezing in. Yeah, good. Should all get quiet from here. That's the main Christchurch to Ringwood road. You saw me ride up there. Was it 23 or 24? 23, I think. Yeah, fitness ride 23. Yeah, so a great place to ride from if you're there for a week. You're getting sort of 4, maybe 5 rides in. There's some variety. You can get into the centre of the island. You can also get across to Cyclist. Sawyer might be a bit of a trek. You can do it. I mean, we went as far south as Bunyola. We could have turned towards Sawyer to head back. It would have meant, of course, climbing Calder Sawyer, having already done Calder Orient. So that would have been a big day, because then the only way out of Sawyer really back to Alcudia is up Pouge Mayor and down for Menya, or maybe Camponet and again across to Sao Pobla. That would have been a really big day. I think if you're just there for cycling, the centre of the island, Sinu, Alaro, somewhere like that, gives you access to everywhere. If you're happy to do 60-70 mile days, you can get to pretty much everywhere. Formentor be a bit of a trek, however relatively flat depending on which route you take, so not a big deal. Yeah, so for us the whole point of Alcudia was that we thought it would be a big place, more things open early in the season. As it turned out, probably Porta Pollenza was busier, smaller place, always thousands of cyclists. Yeah, that probably would have been an okay option in the end, and we only didn't go to Porta Pollenza because we thought it would be quiet and we knew that we weren't going to be riding every day. I think next time we go, we might be back in Porta Pollenza. We're not. I don't know. I mean, Julie's already planning in her head. We nearly booked one while we were on holiday, to be honest. That's of course why all these holiday companies have apps, isn't it? And they send you a text, get X amount off if you book before you get home. You know, while you're in the mood for it. But we're not too worried about that, because we weren't going to be rushed into what we were going to do next time. There are things going on here in the UK, family life, that might need our attention, and they might need our attention even more in 6 months' time. So yeah, we're holding off on that for a minute. It's not difficult to get a last minute for a week if it seems appropriate, so no problem, no problem. I think I said in one of the videos, we always do it the easy way, not necessarily the cheapest. Who's that? That's a Ryanair. Yeah. Now, where did the Ryanair go to? Yeah. Yeah, Ryanair leaves early from Bournemouth. Our flight was at 7:20, and they left at this time, so maybe this is their preferred slot. I think the one that went out on the Wednesday was yesterday. Might have been Alicante, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it left just before ours. But for us, Jet 2 flying out of Bournemouth is amazing. Everything is so simple. We want a pool, we want a hotel, we want food. We don't have to think about these things. And taking the bikes, getting them there and back is an extra 70 quid per bike. It was 60 quid last year, has gone up. There's no hidden charges. Yeah, we chucked the coach driver €5 for having to put up with heavy bags. But other than that, it's all included. TUI, on the other hand, yeah, you can book the holiday on your app, but you have to phone them to add sports equipment. It's about the same price, about 60-70 quid. But what they don't tell you, and I did ask the question, is that it? Is there any more to pay? They said no. When you get to Spain, they charge you an extra, I think it's €15 per bike for the transfer on the coach. Yeah. See, sneaky. I think is TUI German? I would think so. Bloody sneaky. Whoop. Aren't they? Anyway, I think I said before, you go in a group, get an Airbnb, you might be able to get it cheaper, but certainly less convenient. Deer in the field there. We're good. So this is the road to Ringwood from Branscore, Cat and Fiddle, places like that. And I think this route is one, well, all the locals know it, road riders know, everybody knows it, but back when we first started riding gravel bikes, I stitched it together with the Castleman Trail and made a sort of 40-mile loop. So I didn't sort of discover a new route or anything like that, but what I did is took existing routes and stitched them together. This side has road, but quiet road. It avoids, well, I came down the Avon Causeway today, but actually you can go out nearer to Christchurch on quiet roads, a little bit further. But, yeah, it's mostly quiet roads. to get up to Ringwood. You can easily bring a group along here quite safely. The potholes, obviously, you got to look out for. But I'm on a gravel bike, so I very much saw this as a gravel route. And actually, I think from Pier, Bournemouth Pier, along the beach one way, around this loop, and back along the beach from Sandbanks, I think it's about 42 miles back to the pier, so pier to pier, 42 miles ish. It's a slightly longer route than it was originally, because back then we could actually manage to fit it into an evening after work. I, of course, was working from home pretty much back then, had my own business, so I could finish early, meet up with Julie straight from work, have food and everything, bikes ready for her, yeah, the whole lot, and we'd just shoot out the door, and we could get it in an evening in the summer before it got too dark. And it was really our first introduction to gravel cycling. You know, I've said it before, if gravel bikes didn't exist, we wouldn't have had drop bar bikes. We'd have just stuck with our mountain bikes, just sort of ridden around town, down the beach. We did do sort of 70-80k rides on our mountain bikes at the weekends, but of course not really the appropriate vehicle, let's say, for that, and they weren't anything special. They were, well, Julie's was a giant Revell, ladies one, Revel, I don't know, Revel. I had a man's giant Revel, but that got stolen. I lent it to my daughter to commute to work, and it got stolen from her work. Such is life. I bought a 250 quid special off of Amazon. It was a Falcon. Not the worst bike ever. It was the one that I turned into a gravel bike, the Monster Cross bike, and it served me well for enough years. But we very quickly realised that yeah, these cheap mountain bikes were not the bikes for long distance riding. We wanted to go and visit places. No, we sort of felt it was always slightly out of reach, and none of the trails around here really require a mountain bike. There's always going to be an amount of road, so yeah, that's how we got into gravel bikes. They were the perfect alternative for what we wanted to do. Again, just walked into Giant Southampton because that was the only Giant shop in the area at the time that I knew of. There were Giant dealers apparently, but not an actual Giant shop. And yeah, we just walked in, quite literally walked out with two gravel bikes. That was the invite and the tough road. And that's where the journey really began, with YouTube and a gradual sort of move to, you know, taking the bikes away on holiday. We did our little bike packing trip down into Wales from Bristol on our gravel bikes. Yeah, sort of got the bug for travelling, if you like, on our bikes, not just riding from home on our local roads. And of course, if we hadn't have bought the gravel bikes, we would never have bought the road bikes, and we would never have ended up spending time in Mallorca, and we wouldn't have the life we have now. That's not to say this is better than the one we might have had, because you can never make those comparisons, can you? You make decisions in life, and where you go is where you go. I hear people say, oh, if only I'd done this, if only I'd done that. Well, you've no idea, because a different decision would probably have taken you somewhere that you have no clue about. So I'm always happy to look back fondly on the life that we've had and not worry too much about what could have been. Right, car back. Will he go by? It's a bit wider here. Gonna hold my line. I don't want to get my bars caught on a bush or anything stupid. No, he's gonna wait. The end of the road's just here. Okay, I'm going to stay out because he didn't follow me too closely, and he wasn't really in a position to come flying past me in time before the junction, so yeah, he's holding back, so I made the right decision there. He was never looking to get past. I just wanted to make sure he didn't. Right, there we go. Plenty of room now, lots of visibility, nice and safe, let's hope. Right, this is Ringwood, you'll probably know that. Yeah, so I've essentially just come through quiet lanes and roads into Ringwood, but this is the road I came in on in the ride 23. Yeah, this comes all the way up from the roundabout on the Christchurch bypass. Burton, Winkton, Stockley. It's a very flat road. I'm sure if you watched, you'll have noticed. Meanders along with the river, really. But yeah. Okay, when they close past like that, you know what they're doing is they're doing it like that because they're not sure. They try to give them enough space if something comes the other way. Anyway, nobody died. Hopefully we all get to our destination in one piece. So this is the Castleman Trail. This bit gets you across Ringwood. And of course on the road bike I went through the marketplace, town centre. On the giant revolt, no such necessity. I missed the centre of town. Yes, this was the original railway line that would have carried on down to Brockenhurst. I think it went Poole and Dorchester originally. There is still a main line down to Dorchester from Poole, this is of course one of the railway lines that was shut down in the early 60s. The beaching cuts, and all these years later we get the benefit of them in a different way. As I mentioned earlier, the full loop of this is about 40 miles pier to pier. Morning. I've chopped off the corner a little bit by going up the Avon Causeway and Dudmore Lane, so it won't be the full, well, it'll be close by the time I get home. But yeah, this will be the full 6-part mini series. You can binge watch in one go, or come and go as you please. So I suppose you would say that this is, I don't know, end of part 2 really. Dudmore Lane and the Avon Causeway being part 1. And now we're about to leave Ringwood, get on the Castleman Trail. But I mean, you've seen this, if you've watched our videos, you'll have seen all of these places, because for us it's just a nice easy loop, nice and flat. We can just go out, get on with it and enjoy it. The other thing is it keeps us in touch with home, which is nice. We're never too far away. We're also quite close to relatives and stuff, so if we need to call in to people, which we sometimes do, it's no big deal. It's the perfect, if scenic, route to get to them. It just fits, you know. It's one of those no-brainers. It's, oh, should we take the bikes out? Yeah, let's just go and do a loop. It's easy, you know. Makes the decision process easy. It's also nice and flat. I mean, I'm probably going to go up to Cannon Hill this morning. However, if you cut out Cannon Hill and go through Uddens, which is a bit further up, I think it's about 350 feet of climbing. You know, it's a nice rideable surface. We have been along here on the road bikes. It's not too bad. Thank you. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. I mean, they did improve it a couple of years ago now, which was nice. It is gradually going back to wet and boggy. I guess if that's the nature of the ground around here, you can only hold it back for so long. But yeah, so much nicer now it's been done. We've got the ferns there, all dying back still, in gold, copper, autumn colours. But that will spring up and just be a wall of green very soon. Yeah, so I would say this is part 3 of the ride, really. Castleman Trailway down to, well, Ferndown police station probably. Used by locals, loved by locals. But another part of the route that I stitched together. This had a track on both sides with grass down the middle. You kind of had to choose which side you wanted to be on, and yeah, you had to deal with whatever was coming towards you. But as you can see, they've removed the centre reservation, resurfaced it, much wider, a lot more room, and just a fabulous track. It's always cold here. Yeah, even on a hot day, this is a cool part of the ride. I think Ringwood generally, it's a bit cooler than everywhere else around. I mean, it's quite a big flat area on this side, and lots of water, floodplains, rivers, so it's not really a surprise. It's also at slightly higher elevation, and then of course you go up Hightown Hill heading out towards the New Forest. Well, you've seen that, haven't you? Yeah, what a great place to ride bikes that is. Well maintained all through the winter, no problem riding there. Does get congested though. A lot of people visit the New Forest now. I think we saw a huge jump in visitor numbers to these places that we ride as locals, if you like, during COVID, during lockdown. All of a sudden these places got discovered and people had time to visit them. Yeah, all good. And even though visitor numbers may have dropped somewhat, hasn't dropped that much. On in. Morning. Yeah, so this part was particularly boggy. This last bit through here, you can see why. Pine needles and that are already starting to return it back to a wet, slippy mess. But it's still a good surface. It's holding up for the minute. Yeah, this bit on your Strava profile looks a bit odd. It's a dead straight line. It looks like you lost your GPS and then it reconnected at one end or the other. But yeah, it is just a dead straight line. all the way to West Moors, where we go past the MOD fuel depot. That of course will have had a siding and its own little loading area back in the day, but I think most fuel these days is pumped around in pipelines, isn't it? Yeah, certainly airports and that sort of places like that, they get supplied by pipelines. So fuel depots still have fuel in them, it's just you don't need to take it there, you just push it there through pipes. It's supposed to be a nice day today, there is some hint of that. What are we on? Just over an hour, or just about an hour now. So I reckon we might make it to Wimborne on one battery. Maybe not. I mean, it is chilly, that's for sure. Yeah, these batteries don't like the cold, do they? I know the endurance batteries on the GoPro are much better than they used to be. Not sure about this Insta battery. It may or may not be any good. It lasted quite well when I was doing my early mornings. Hour and a quarter, hour and 20 minutes. At sort of anything between 0 and 5 degrees. Like I said earlier, today is supposed to be 6 degrees when I left, going up to about 13, 14 later in the day. I'll almost certainly feel warmer in the sun if it comes out. I don't know if we'll be early enough to see the swimmers down on the beach. Don't know if we'll even get that far. Morning. Yeah, so quite a lot going on in the world at the minute. One of those things, isn't it? When I was at work, I was sort of isolated from day-to-day issues. Now, of course, I'm not at work. I've become the solution, and rightly so. I have a part to play in family life. That's why I'm out early today, so if there are any requirements of me, I will be available. So yeah, Julie's parents now are elderly, need a bit of extra support, and occasionally have mishaps. Without going into too much detail, that's what's happened since we got back. So I've become hospital transport mostly, because you don't really ever want to take a car to a hospital, do you? So drop Julie off, drop anybody off really that needs to be there, do a bit of running around, sort things out, just, you know, stuff that needs dealing with. So yeah, it hasn't been a completely quiet retirement so far, and I'm happy about that actually, because not that people have had mishaps obviously, but I think when we were on holiday, I was just on holiday. It didn't really feel like anything had come to an end or any new kind of life was about to start. We were just on holiday. And since I've come back, there were a couple of times that I thought to myself, oh, what should I do tomorrow? Mostly riding bikes with the guys, obviously, when that was available, took it. Always good fun. After Mallorca, I thought I had some fitness back and that I could contribute, let's say, to the group a bit better than I had done up till recently. But yeah, it was certainly something, a mindset that I was trying to get used to, rather than was completely comfortable with, let's say. So even though it's not the best circumstances, as things are at the moment, I have got a focus. Now I have got some way of being useful still. Right, so this is West Moors. Please consider other users. Yes, that's right. You see, they've got a sign there, please consider other users. Yet if you're on a recumbent or some sort of machine for disability users, yeah, you're not getting through those bars, are you? Let's be honest. We've we have ridden with people, amputees, what have you, on recumbents, and yeah, those sorts of things are just a nightmare. But it seems to me that maybe the locals don't want people racing through there at top speed out into the road and get knocked off. I've never seen it happen. But you know, little places like this, local councils, parish councils and that, yeah. Okay, nothing there. Tappan Railway. One of Julie's parents' hangouts. They live local to here. Julie quite likes it there as well. We drop in there every now and then in the summer on an evening ride. Right, back onto the trailway here. Kissing Gate ahead. No warning. There we go. Yeah, so you're not doing that on your mountain bike, are you? You can go through the car park and come back in here. Or there's another one here. So there are ways around it if you're on one of those funny bikes with wide bars. But for the rest of us, there's a kissing gate, and as long as you know it's there, you know, you can just go straight through. This is cold. Yeah, this is very chilly through here. I have got shorts on, bib shorts. I have got shoe covers. Now, strangely, I'm in aero kit today. Oh dear, oh dear. I'll have to explain that because that just sounds mental, doesn't it? Plenty of room, don't you worry. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so when I say aero kit, I'm wearing an aero helmet. You already know why, I've said it before. It's got less vents in it. On a cold morning, perfect, you know? In the winter, an aero helmet has just the right amount of ventilation. You just put the cap of your choice underneath it, depending on the temperature, and it just works. In the summer I will be back to a normal helmet, more ventilation. You know, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Common sense. Winter less ventilation, summer more. Okay, now I am wearing, again, a bit weird, I suppose you'd call them aero socks, but they're not. They're shoe covers, but they don't have the zip and all that sort of thing. They are like a sock on top and a shoe cover at the bottom, and they are rubber. They do keep the water splashes out, they keep the wind out, and again, for this time of year, they just give the perfect amount of insulation. I don't know if they make me faster or not, I don't care. That's not why I'm wearing them. I actually bought them by mistake from AliExpress because I thought they were like wet weather pull-on covers. Because of course on AliExpress they put waterproof this, that and the other all over them. Well, I can tell you now, the top half is definitely not waterproof. The bit over the toe and around the shoe, quite possibly splash proof. So let's just say that. But I'm wearing my summer shoes, which are effectively trainers with cleats, bendy, nice and easy to walk in. And I've just chucked these over the top to keep the just to keep the cold out slightly, to chill. And they seem to work. I mean, my toes are a little bit chilly, but this is a particularly cold part of the ride. So yeah, I'm in aero kit. Well, helmet and socks anyway. Right, Udden's Plantation. Yeah, so okay, let's just get through this bit. Yeah, good. Okay, here we go. Camera seems to have kept going this time for a bit. An hour and 20 minutes left on the card, 100% battery. I don't know what's going on. I bought this DJI microphone. Yeah, waste of money. I'm sure it's all very good with a DJI camera and receiver set, but absolutely useless with this Insta. Even though, of course, all the reviews say, oh yeah, it works with my Insta perfectly, blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't. Not with mine anyway. Yeah, and it comes in 24-bit recording, which possibly means nothing to a lot of you, but basically not the best. It does have 32-bit float capability, but only, and it doesn't say this in the blurb, only if you've got a DJI receiver or camera, because even if you've got the app on your phone, you can't connect to it and switch the 32-bit float on. So yeah, even though in the description it says, you know, 32-bit float recording, blah 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 blah, yeah, not when you buy it standalone. Now fortunately, Andre has a DJI Action 4, so he connected it to his camera and switched on the 32-bit float. So hopefully hopefully that is how it's recording. We'll see. Let's just hope it's got over itself and it's going to keep going. Yeah, and you think GoPros are unreliable? Yeah, all of this stuff. Well, you know, it's built for consumers really, isn't it? They always put professional in the blurb, but it's for consumers. So you take what you get, I suppose. And not a lot of it costs too much, does it? Not compared to professional stuff. So again, you take what you get. Right, a little bit of uphill, only about 1-2%. Like I said earlier, it's only about 350 feet of climbing depending on the route. Right, is there a dog? I can't see a lead. No, I think they're just out for a walk. Yeah, so the tyres on the Giant. Well, when it went back to Giant, it had my Primavera 32mm deep wheels on it, and I knew that I wanted those through Mallorca. The 56mm aero wheels, just not really appropriate for what we were going to do, you know, and it's all placebo, I understand that. But you know, the road bike looks damn good with those 56 deep rims on them. Right, you got lots of lead, haven't you, mate? Come on then. Yeah, but for going up hills and stuff like that, why have the extra weight? Who needs aero anyway? But definitely on a hilly sort of routes. So I quickly changed the wheels out of Julie's commuter bike, put them in the Giant so it could go to their shop and it was a complete bike, because that's one of the stipulations when you take it in. You can't just take the broken frame, you have to take the complete bike, which is fine, but I knew I wanted those wheels for holiday. So the Cinturato Gravel M's that were fitted on it did last, and that's all I wanted. I wanted them to last through to this summer, last the whole winter. Yeah, they had about 12-13 dyno plugs in them because they've been, yeah, beaten to hell and back, let's say. So when I got the Giant back, I knew I was going to get new tyres for it. I've done that. Another pair of thank you, Cinturato M's. They lasted well enough. 45mm wide, you know, perfect. Morning. Perfect for this kind of thing. Not too bad on the road. And again, hopefully they will last another year or so. Make it through the winter again. Fingers crossed. They do take a bit of a battering when I'm on board. So all the bikes now have appropriate tyres. Julie had 40mm Cinturato M's on her Invite gravel bike around New Year, I think. 40mm is about as much as I can get into her bike. It's an older style gravel frame. I think originally it was probably, right, come on, let's just take it easy here. Originally I think it was probably built as a touring bike come gravel adventure bike. It has a kickstand bracket at the bottom bracket there, and of course all the mounts that you would need. Morning. Yeah, so it came with 38s. I've squeezed 40s in there. I don't think 45s would work. I think, well, certainly with dirt on the tyres, start getting frame rub. Yeah. But anyway, new tyres. So she's good probably for 3 or 4 years. She doesn't wear tyres out like I do. Several reasons for that, some of them obvious, but also I do more miles, so not a complete surprise. Julie's road bike, we mentioned in other videos, I put the Panaracer road tyres on yeah, a couple of months ago. Not the durable version. Again, Julie doesn't really have tyre issues, so yeah, she got the light fast tyres, the Agilist, Agilist, whatever you want to call it. I, on the other hand, did have the Duro version a couple of months back, and so far they have been perfect, and they might well be Duro, but I didn't really notice any difference. I've got the 32s on my other wheels, on the deep wheels. They're not the Duro version. I've been pretty lucky with them actually. I have had to put a plug in occasionally, but they've always sealed, and I haven't had that many punches. The other thing I suppose is that I'm quite adept, at dealing with punches. I have a system that works, seems to work, and I'm quite happy to deal with stuff like that at the side of the road. So I guess, have I had more problems than no, I don't think I have. I think I've been lucky. I think punches does come down to luck quite often. Here we go. That's Cannon Hill, and that is like the only climb on the whole route. We're now in Wimborne. Yeah, so I've been actually really pleased with the Panaracer road tyres. Absolutely amazing. You don't really hear much about them. I did read a review the other day, since I bought them, not before. And they're going through all the road tyres and which ones you should buy, and all your usual suspects are there. All the ones that you will have heard of. Well, a bit busy. What are we, 25 to 8, so we're just getting into rush hour now. Hopefully we'll be back on the trailway before it gets too busy. That said, the trailway is, from here to Poole, a popular commuter route. So we probably see lots of cyclists. We'll see. Yeah, I was reading a review about all the road tyres. Had your GPs and Vittorias and blah blah blah. And I went down the page, and the Panaracers were there, which was strange because they don't usually get included in things like that. And yeah, of course, all of them have pros and cons. The only tyre in the review, the Panaracer, pros, this, that and the other, cons, none. So, there are people out there that like them. They don't just bow to the big names. And I have to say, I've been very pleased with them. Julie had Panaracer Gravel Kings on her bike for a few years. The is it X ones, the bitey ones, the ones with the extra knobbies, not the small knob ones, not the SKs, but the ones, I think they're probably made for cyclocross, to be honest. They look like cyclocross tyres, quite chunky knobs on them. And again, she had no issues at all. Where are you going to go, mate? Where are you going to go? Well done. Good choice. He thought about coming past, but there's nowhere for him to go. I'm going to take my place. The road's too narrow for the filtering. Oh, hello. Yeah, I guess I picked the wrong time to come through Coal Hill. Alright, go on everybody. A long train. This guy behind is going to get impatient, but I'll try not to get in the way. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I did worry there. If I pulled in, the guy behind might have been taken by surprise and tried to push through. As it was, he did pull in and wait, so I made slightly the wrong decision there, but kept myself safe. That's all I'm really worried about. The guy in the Ranger could see me, so all good. Didn't really hold anybody up, did we? We just got on with it. Right, careful on this roundabout. Quite often there is gravel. Right, nothing behind, nothing in front. Yeah, gravel's over there on the right hand side, so not such a problem on this occasion. Right, and that hill we just came up, we're going straight back down again. Oh, I think the headset's slightly loose on this, very slightly. There's a bit of a vibration to it, but you know, I will have done 100 or so miles on it now, so it will be time just to go through everything, re-talk everything, just make sure everything's done up. I'm fine with that. That's how it should be. Everything needs checking when you've taken a bike apart and put it back together. There you go, it's just starting to change now. Car behind, so where are they going? Yeah, they are following me. Right, door zone. Thank you. Yeah, good. Right, next bit could be busy. Going up over the bridge. It's a narrow bridge. Stone wall either side. I'm going down the middle of the road, mate, because there's no room for two cars and a bike over this bridge, and you can't see. It's a blind summit for the first bit. People get lulled into trying to overtake because it's slightly uphill. I'll be going slightly slower and they'll think they can get through quick. Right, that was helpful. Crossing is, yeah, you see what I mean. There is no way I'm getting over to the wall on this bit. I will, however, get on the bike path here, because normally I just ride straight up the road, but with that traffic there, yeah, I don't fancy that. This is a shared path, so let's take advantage of it. There we go. Back on the Castleman Trailway at the top of the hill here. Morning. And it's just dog walkers and other bikes. And hopefully not too wet and mucky. Okay. Africa Twin. That's still red. I'll wait on the island. Okay. The Willett Arms, well-known pub in the area. And here we go. Back onto the trailway. Morning, sir. Go on, you got it. So a little bit damp, to be expected. And quite often actually, well, you can see all the dead wood at the sides. We have seen big branches of trees snap off, hit the trailway and nearly hit people. Yeah, does happen. They do come through here and clear it a bit, but yeah, there's still quite a lot of dead trees up there. Unfortunately, Julie's not here today, so you'll have to go without. But that is one of her favourites. And even though we're going down to the coast, this particular part of the trailway always feels a bit draggy, like it's just like 0.5% or 1% uphill. And it must be, because coming the other way, this bit can be super fast. As you can see, very rideable. So this is the top, definitely flattens off here, instantly feel it in your legs, and it just gets quicker and quicker. So we're on the flat now, for sure. On it. Yeah, so this part of the trailway, even at rush hour, nice and wide, not many people. Let's see what happens when we get closer to Broadstone and Poole. I think things will change. On our 6-part epic, I would say this is section number 4. Wimborne, Willett Arms. We're probably all the way down to Upton House. Nearly all of it is off-road. Yeah, we had a little bit of road just to get across Wimborne there. It's sort of avoidable, But the Castleman Trailway down by the river at Camford Bottom hasn't really been joined up yet, and the field that you have to get across at Camford Bottom, it's just awkward. If it's wet, you sink. If it's dry, it's the bumpiest thing in the world ever. So I'm always happy just to do that couple of miles of road. It's not too bad in the daytime. It's nothing really. In the evenings, it's nothing. Today we hit a bit of traffic just because of the time of day. It's now 10 to 8. There could still be more traffic to come. Obviously there are different starting times. This end of Poole is, I suppose, more industrial down by the Poole Quay and Hamworthy, places like that. Little industrial units and that, so they're probably 8 o'clock starters, maybe earlier. And as we get into the centre of Bournemouth, you'll have your 9 o'clock office workers. Right, there we go. That was, I think it's Broadstone Golf Club. Is it Broadstone? Anyway, it's a golf club. And yeah, this is really where Broadstone starts. It's quite a large area really, lots of houses. Definitely grown over the years. And yeah, quite a nice place to live, I would say. Well then, yeah, a little bit tight through here, but what can you do? This is what was left over of the railway, and this is what they had to work with when they decided to make it, you know, usable for everybody and turn it into a route. So this is, well, it used to be the YMCA gym. I don't know if it is anymore. I think it probably still is. Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a gym. I don't know what facilities it has. I don't do gyms, you probably know that. Let's go this way. Right. This is the main roundabout in Broadstone. You've seen me go shooting through there on the road bike on the early mornings. And this is the way to get through. And you don't want to be on the road. There we go, back on the trailway. You can hear the traffic, can't you? I did ride down that road on the left a couple of times on the early mornings. It's a very fast bit of road actually when it's empty. Well, even when it's not empty. But yes, it's not unpleasant when it's empty in the early mornings. Yeah, just the watts go up, just pedal, and you got a slight downhill just a percentage or two, and it's quite well protected from the elements, so even though there should be a headwind, it's not actually too bad. One of those E-fat bikes. Yeah, I don't think you need an E-fat bike to get along here, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, shall we? Because maybe he uses it for other things at the weekend. Who knows? But yeah, if you live in Broadstone, work in Poole, or like with these kids, if you need to get to school, this is just brilliant. Sun's coming out, it's getting warmer, toes are waking up now. It's a bit narrow around here. Woo! Yeah, a little bit narrow, a little bit sloppy, so if you do grab a bit of brake in haste, you know, it could be an incident, let's say, so always good to look ahead as far as possible. Yeah, I mean, it's smooth enough that you certainly don't need to look down looking for obstacles. You can scan between the two quite happily. Nothing's going to take you by surprise. I wish I hadn't said that, because obviously now anything could happen. Life can sometimes have a way of kicking you in the backside, can't it? But no, really, it's very rideable, and as you can see, quite good vision ahead. Now just here we're going to go down the embankment to Upton House, but if you continue through that gate, the old railway takes you up to Upton roundabout, the double roundabout where the Costa Coffee is. So you can do that and then go down Hamworthy into Poole, but we're going to go down the embankment. Yeah, it's always mucky through here. Unavoidable, I'm afraid. They do clear it up every now and then, but it's just always mucky. Now this is very fast down through here. You've got to be a bit careful because you can get carried away, but you still got to look out for dogs and stuff coming out from here. People do walk through the trees here with their dogs. Oh, okay. Average watts have disappeared. Yeah, so I've still got a yeah, the power meter on this bike is not happy. It worked on the last ride. It hasn't worked properly for a long time, and today it seems to have just said no. That's fine by me. Today I'm just out riding. Right. There we go. Now taking the gate off here, which is brilliant, but do not go through the middle of this puddle ever, because it is the perfect size for a bike wheel. It does actually go all the way through to Australia, and it will just throw you over the front. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, doesn't matter how many times they fill it, it just sinks every single time. I don't know, they keep putting gravel in it, which is not the right thing to do. They need to put some big blocks in there that have got corners and that cut into the ground and grip, but they keep putting round stones, and of course they got no grip at all, and they just go sink in, and you're back to square one after about 3 weeks. Right, take the bridle path today. Roundabout looked a bit busy, didn't it? This is sometimes flooded, but you know, it's concrete underneath, isn't it? You're not going to hit anything that you don't know about, so you just get wet, don't you? And here we are, Upton House. Big improvements here actually. Right, nothing behind me, no. Okay. You have to turn right here because that is the off ramp from the Upton bypass. I'm coming. No. Now this has been improved greatly. This was, as somebody described it the other day, just a slop fest down through here. But that is no longer. I don't think for one moment it will stay this good for long, but it is certainly an improvement. Hear the traffic. Yeah. Busy, busy, busy. Right, what we got? Nothing behind. I always check behind because there's always going to be. There we go. There's always likely to be an e-mountain bike or fat bike or something charging down there at 20 miles an hour. Yeah, they've at least doubled the width on this, added a new path through there, probably takes you up to the coffee shop and the gardens. But this is much nicer, much clearer. It was mucky, you didn't mind the muck so much, but it's wider and you can see further. I don't know if they've cleared out some of the vegetation as well, it's possible they have. It just seems to be better vision. Right here, they've put in a new bridge. The old bridge, the rickety bridge, you will have seen it on our videos. It's still over there, but been demolished pretty much. No ramps on and off of it anymore. It was absolutely rotten, so it was overdue. And as you can see, got pretty good vision through here now. Maybe in the summer everything will grow up and block it a bit, but for the moment, perfect. Yeah. Okay, it's a little bit of a blind bend, but again, plenty of room. Now, movement ahead. I think it's the walker. No, it was on a bike, but this is a very tight little corner. It goes very narrow here, so you do have to be slightly aware. Like those bikes, isn't it, with those silly funny wide bar things. Cheers, mate. There we go. This is the back of Poole Harbour. Not the back, I suppose you'd call that out towards Hamworthy and that. Poole Harbour's massive, but yeah, this is the back of it at Holes Bay. What we got? Yeah, okay. Be a little bit careful here. Yep, good. You do get the chance just to see over the bushes before you take the turns, but still got to be a little bit careful. So what are we on? 2 hours. Train! Yeah, that's the main line down to Dorchester and Weymouth. And Poole Station is just up ahead. Right, need to be mindful of the memory card. Yeah, everything just needs tightening up, doesn't it? A little bit of front derailleur rub. It's not a derailleur, it's a derailleur. It's something that derails the chain. Derailing is what it does. Derailleur. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to make it, but hey, I might make it. I'm going to make it. Yeah. Yeah, you don't call a saboteur a saboteur, do you? It's a saboteur. So why is derailleur derailleur? I don't understand. Anyway, you call it what you like and I'll do the same. Morning. Oh, look at this. Springtime on the south coast. Alright, 30 miles. What's that? 2 hours down, just over. And that's the end of part 4. No doubt Google will say it's time for another 57 adverts at this point. That is becoming annoying. I have to check and then double check and not forget, because gradually, bit by bit, Google are angling to take away control of adverts from publishers, or creators as they call them. And I know you can still go in and change it, but you can see gradually these incremental changes they're making are working towards taking complete control away, so they decide what adverts and when and how many. But for now I try and keep it to a reasonable, or what I would consider a reasonable amount for the length of the video. Right, let's get on the island. No, we're good actually. Yep, we're good. Right, centre of pool. Yeah, so as viewers, you may or may not have noticed a big increase in advertising, and that is due to the changes, I think, and Google saying, oh, we'll optimise it for you, don't worry, we'll sort it out for you. And on a video like this, it's going to be several hours long, they will add in 30 or more advert breaks, I'm sure. 22 in one that was an hour and a half the other week. Just ridiculous. I think they're trying to just bring us into the North American model, where if they show so many adverts, we will become immune and put up with them, you know. UK, maybe European television, I don't know, is has heavy regulation when it comes to the amount of minutes of advertising you can have. I know that's something in America that doesn't really happen. Everything is tilted towards business and making money, I get that. But it's not really the way we do things here. So this constant pushing for more advertising, more advert breaks in your videos, etc, etc, but it doesn't sit well with me. I do try and limit them. I do try and remember to go and sort it out. But sometimes if I'm too quick and don't give them the chance, it seems to me they do actually go in and add extra. And of course I have no real way of knowing what you actually see. So I can set 4 advert breaks on a hour and a half early morning ride, but I don't know if they show you 4, 6, 8, 10, because maybe in your part of the world that's what they do. They decide. I remember once I did forget, 22 advert breaks they decided was optimum, is how they put it, for an hour and a half early morning ride. Ridiculous. Anyway, it's enough moaning. I like what we do on YouTube. It isn't something I would like to stop doing. It's quite enjoyable. Again, it gives me focus. Okay, they've really closed it this time. Okay. Brand new bike path. Bloody great holes in it already. Another quality job. Anyway. Thank you. I'd quite happily let them go first if they kept walking. Yeah, okay, so can we get back on it? I think we can. Cyclist up. Oh, listen to those tyres. And that front disc, yeah. Yeah, everything just needs tightening up, doesn't it, and rechecking. It's all bed in now. No creaks, but just a few alignment issues, I think. Right, what you got there, Mr. Sausage Dog? Yes. There's another bike the other side, no point in me rushing through. We ride on that side of the road, do we? Morning. Right, I'm guessing the memory card must be nearly full. I do have another one with me. Oh, flies. So hopefully, just up ahead, we'll do a memory card change, battery change, and we'll be good. And looking at this weather, a nice ride along the beach to finish part 6 of our 6-part epic. Yeah, so we're going to go pool to Sandbanks now, mostly road. I mean, there is a bike route, but it's more put together to get you to the centre of Bournemouth and into the sort of commercial areas of Poole, Broadstone. So no good to us because we want to go to the beach, don't we? All good rides should end at the beach, shouldn't they? Now, of course, when I did my early morning rides, it's pitch black, winter, promenade doesn't really get cleared that often, certainly not at the Poole end. There's no street lights at the Poole end, not until you get to the Bournemouth boundary. So hitting a sandbank, highly likely. So I mostly went up Haven Hill. And back the road route. This morning, daylight, lots of cyclists and walkers going along the beach for the last few weeks. Yeah, even sweep it occasionally. So hopefully we'll get a nice easy run along the beach back into Bournemouth. In the meantime, yeah, cars, traffic, noise. Actually, this first bit, mostly uphill and into the wind. But that's okay, because it leads us to the good stuff. Rockets and Rascals on the right there. They had a group out in Mallorca at the same time as us. And Elmer CC were out in Mallorca, the local bike club. So yeah, not just the only ones from this part of the world to be in Mallorca. I think after a long, dark winter, yeah, April, it's just the perfect opportunity, isn't it, to escape. And I have to say, we saw more cyclists than we have ever seen. Thousands. Tens of thousands even. Right, Evening Hill, downhill, onto the flat, onto the beach, and homeward bound. I must check the camera in a minute. Hopefully we'll get to Shore Road and onto the prom. Nothing behind, only 46 teeth up front. Oh yeah, the warmth of that sun now, fantastic. Still a bit hazy, but it's supposed to be a good day today. It's like a completely different ride now, isn't it? Yeah. The damp sort of early dawn roads up to Ringwood there. Oh, hello. And here we are. It's almost like a different day. A whole different world. And here we go. The final part of our 6-part epic. What a way to finish a ride. Clothing I got just about right. Toes are still a little bit chilly, but just having those covers over them has made all the difference. Top half is fine. Maybe a neck buff when I first started, but I got away with it. Legs are okay. They're a little bit chilly in places. Up near Ringwood. Chilly, as I said at the time. Felt it a little bit, but nothing terrible at all. So this takes us into Bournemouth Pier, where I would normally sort of start and finish the loop. So it takes in the full distance of the beach promenade when done as I sort of built it originally, which is always a good start and a good end to the ride, but not something you'd really want to do in the dark, especially not in the winter. You can't really see what you're doing, where you're going and where the sandbanks are, because they do get up to, yeah, sort of 4 or 5 inches deep in places. Oh yeah, they make you jump. Yeah. So we're sort of underneath Camford Cliffs here. The village of Camford Cliffs is just slightly inland at the top there, and they do actually have streetlights here, but they soon stop. And then you have no streetlights from here all the way into Bournemouth, and then when you get to the Bournemouth boundary they start again. I don't know why that is. I guess originally different councils were responsible for different parts of the promenade. And I guess now it's all BCP and one council. There'll still be factions within it, I guess, but there's really no need to change it because it's all okay, really. We'll see. Right, dogs everywhere, runners everywhere. Not complaining, it's here to share. Yeah, I think there's a lot more of this sort of thing going on now. The cliffs have always been iffy. You know, they're cliffs, so they do wear down. You know, they do get battered by the rain and the wind. But I think with health and safety and everything these days, it's become more prominent because, of course, they feel they need to do something about it. Well, of course, in the old days, you just put a sign up saying, dangerous cliffs, don't go near, and that was it. These days, it's got to fence it off, and they seem to be doing as much as they can to protect people. I don't know which is right or wrong. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm just saying that it's more prominent these days. It's more obvious. Now, I'm not sure what's happened today, but I've actually got a headwind. I'm not supposed to have a headwind along here. But that's okay. It's flat. I'm in no hurry. There is a speed limit along here anyway. There's no point, you know, going at it. Just take my time. There's lots of people about, dogs, whatever, so there's really no need to rush along here. he's gonna. He had a lot going on there, didn't he? Pedestrians each side, me coming straight at him. He did the right thing. Drank some chine. Looking quite posh these days. I mean, it always was really, but yeah, it's actually been dealt with and sorted out, and yeah, looking better. So there you go, I'm going to cut it off there while the camera's still running and the card's still got something in it. That is 36 miles, it'll be over 40 by the time I get home, but I'm just going back into Bournemouth. I will turn at the pier, go up through the gardens, and thank you. That'll be the end of the ride. If you stuck with me all the way through, well done. I feel like you've earned something.